Welcome to the Visible Value pre-work demonstration video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete the moving balance sheet exercise and then how to complete the first part of the January lead round up to the market. When you log on to the game for the very first time, you will see this opening memo as the first thing you see. I advise you to read it, but you don't need to remember it, as you will have access to this information in the document folder when you get into the game. So I'm just going to click the continue. There's a quick dialog box that opens up here, drawing your attention to the very important icon tray that sits at the top of your screen in the middle. I'm going to take you through that, so I'm going to close that for now. And finally, there's an incoming message from your personal assistant just telling you about the moving balance sheet exercise and asking you to continue. Now, you're going to be doing this particular exercise yourself, and the purpose of this video is, in case it's not very clear, you'll see exactly what I'm doing and you should be able to replicate it yourself. So we'll put the thank you, goodbye, and we'll click on that. Okay, here's that very important icon tray. Top left hand corner, you'll see the folder icon. You click on that, and there the very first document you see is the opening memo. The second document that's in there at the moment is a summary of the rules, and whilst a lot of that may not make sense now, I promise you, as you go through the game, you will be accessing this particular document frequently. As you go through the game, different documents will be added to this particular folder, and some of the exercises within the game will require you to access that information. Next to the folder icon, you can see the checklist icon for this particular current round. The moving balance sheet checklist is not actually very big, but you can see there is a series of tasks and indeed a sequence that you're expected to complete them. Now, the task you're currently on will be shown in the banner headline here, so you don't need to keep that checklist open. But if you wish to check progress, you can certainly click on it and see how many tasks you've done and how many are left to go. Finally, at this stage, you can open up the current balance sheet. We're not going to enter anything into it. In fact, during this round, we will be prompted when we're expected to open up the balance sheet and fill it in. Okay, finally, I'm going to draw your attention to the I or help button here. For every task, there is a help button, which I advise you to open up before you start the task. In today's demonstration, I'm going to do exactly that, and I'm going to follow the instructions in the help screen. So without further ado, let's start the business. First thing we're going to do is investors are going to invest 30 into our brand new business. So I moved the 30 coins to share capital, and I moved the 30 gold coins to the cash box. And as you'll notice that the balance sheet icon is flashing, and we've been prompted to fill it in. So we're going to fill it in. We've got 30 cash, gives us a total of 30 of what we have, where it came from, 30 share capital, and a total of 30. You'll notice that every time you put the correct figure in, a little green tick appears, confirming that you have indeed put the correct figure. If you put the wrong figure in, the game will tell you and put a red cross against it. In fact, when we're next prompted to fill in the balance sheet, I will make a deliberate error and show you that feature. So the next thing we need to do is buy new equipment, and we're going to buy one yellow machine, value of 5. So we're going to move that across and see that this machine has now changed and become a yellow machine. There's the prompt to fill in the balance sheet. Now we know that the cash at the moment is 25, but I'm actually going to put 20 in, sort of error you might make. And as you can see, it tells me that that's the wrong figure. So if I click back on that area and put the correct figure in, it then becomes a green tick. So cash is reduced from 30 down to 25, but we have a machine with a value of 5. So we put that in there. That gives us a total of 30. We still have 30 share capital, and that's a total there. And so everything is still balanced. The next thing we need to do is buy inventory. So we go over to suppliers, and then this dialog box opens. Every machine has a capacity of 6. We're going to buy 6 today. We're going to place the order. And now, of course, because we're a new business, we don't have supplier credit. We're being asked to pay cash to our suppliers, which we're obliged to do. As we go through the game, you'll find that supplier credit or 30-day supplier credit becomes an option that you can use. Again, we're expected to fill in the moving balance sheet. The cash, of course, has dropped from 25 to 13. Equipment is still worth 5, but now we have inventory with a value of 12. The total is still 30, share capital is still 30, and so the balance sheet is still balanced at 30. Now we have a new icon which has appeared now, which is the delivery icon. I'm going to click on that, and this shows that we have successfully sold some of our products, 5 of them, to customer Y1 at a price of 20. Cost of goods sold is 10, and our gross profit is therefore 10. Payment terms is 30 days. So we're going to press the deliver, close that up, and now we're going to have to receive or account for revenues from customers. Payment terms for 30 days, so I'm moving the 20 coins onto 30 days. Again, we now have to fill in our balance sheet. So the cash we have is still 13, equipment is 5, but now our inventory has dropped. It's no longer 12, it's only 2, but we are now owed 20 by our customers. This gives us a new total of 40. Now the share capital is still 30, so our earnings need to go up by 10 if we're going to balance. And indeed, we're being asked to adjust our retained earnings. That's going to have to put a figure of 10 in, and that's excellent. And now the next thing we're going to do is update our records. So we're going to move the money from owed from customers into cash. And we're being prompted again to do something with the moving balance sheet. The amount of cash has changed. It's gone from 13 to 33. The machine's still worth 5. Our inventory is still worth 2, but we're now owed 0 by customers. So what's interesting here is that our cash has increased significantly, but our earnings haven't changed at all. So cash and earnings are not always the same thing. Balanced again. Now we need to pay our staff wages. We pay them 4. Move that across to the wages part of the board. And now, because we've paid out some cash, we need to do something with our balance sheet. That's now gone down to 29. Value of our machine is still 5. Our inventory is still worth 2. We're owed nothing by customers. But the total now is 36. Now our share capital is still 30, which means our earnings must have reduced down to 6. So what we need to do now is we need to adjust our retained earnings. So we need to put -4 in, and then that's now correct. Now in this game, whenever you buy a new machine, you have to depreciate it in the first month that you buy it, and then you have to depreciate it every 3 months afterwards. Again, cash has not changed. The value of the machine has reduced from 5 to 4. Inventory is still 2, owed by customer 0. So our total has dropped from 36 to 35, which means it's again our earnings, which must reduce by a further 1. So it's not just cash which can affect our earnings. Now we need to make that final adjustment. So -1. And there we go. We will have successfully completed the moving balance sheet exercise. You hit the end phase button and then you confirm it by pressing yes. Now, once you've completed that, you'll get the option to move straight on to the January round, which is what we're going to do now. And as you can see, we completely swept the board and now we're starting from afresh. And I'm going to go a little bit quicker now. Exactly the same process, except this time our investors are deciding to invest 40. So we move the 40 silver coins to share capital, and we move the 40 gold coins to cash. Now we have to buy a yellow machine. Now this is a lead round, so everybody is going to be buying the same machine, so that when you start the February round, everybody will be in the same financial position. Next thing we have to do is recruit staff. This is a new step because last time we just paid them, but this time we have to pay to recruit them. And you'll notice that as we go through each step, we're not being asked to complete the balance sheet. We'll be doing a profit and loss account and a balance sheet completion at the end of January. That will be after the market. So the next stage is we have to buy our inventory, same thing as before. The capacity is 6, so we're now going to place our order, and we're going to have to pay for our inventory because we're still a brand new business, because we've started again. We can't take supplier credit, so we move our 12 across and we pay our supplier immediately. In this particular lead round, we will only be bidding for 2 pieces of business, and we pay 1 for every piece of business we bid for in the market. Now I'm showing you the 2 quotations, or the 2 bids we've made. One for customer 1, who wishes to buy a quantity of 6 yellow products, payment terms in 60 days, and we're offering a price of 43. And for customer Y2, again, they want 6 yellow products, payment terms 60 days, and we're offering a price of 47. Now in the market proper, the customers will take the lowest price. Their interest is getting the lowest price from their suppliers. Right, we've now completed that, so we can now end the phase. And at this point, you will not have the option to go any further in the game, because we will continue from this point onwards when you start the game proper. I hope that's helped you get through the pre-work, and I look forward to seeing you on the game itself. Take care now and stay safe.